The Prime Minister's revealed that she's taking a few days off this week for surgery to remove an impacted wisdom tooth that's been bothering her for about 3 years. But accessing dental care is not so easy for thousands of low-income New Zealanders. A woman who we'll call Jill is one of them. A mouthful of rotten, broken teeth and constantly infected gums led to her overdosing on painkillers. A beneficiary, she says dental work is an unaffordable dream that she can't go further into debt for. Figures show work and incomes funding upwards of $20 million a year in dental work for low-income workers and beneficiaries, with more than half of it essentially being loans that need to be paid back. And for some, that could take a lifetime. Beneficiary advocates say dental work is a basic human right and the government needs to heavily subsidise it or make it free. We'll have more on that later, but first, here's Jill's story. It's a hard problem for Jill to swallow, or chew on for that matter. Her mouth is frequently infected. It started when her former partner bashed her front teeth out a decade and a half ago when she was about 19, and it's only got worse.
When there's full infection in more than one area, I don't function. I can't function at all. Don't sleep. I rock. I have been hospitalised for overdosing on Panadol.
Because the pain is so bad?
Because it's so bad, and I've even been to hospital and had my gums injected. I can't drive, and the light affects my eyes. I get headaches, if the pain is that bad.
To help people understand, if on a scale, if 0 is you feel great and your mouth feels great and 10 is the worst pain you've ever felt in your life, where are you on the pain scale?
And a bad toothache, over 10.
What stops you getting the work done?
Money.
So it's too expensive for you to fix this?
Yeah.
We'll talk money shortly. But speaking to Checkpoint is a big deal for Jill. She doesn't like to smile or open her mouth in front of strangers. Besides a dentist years ago, only her husband has seen and knows the true state of her mouth. Till now. She's agreed to let our cameraman, Nick, film her plate and mouth, but she asks me to step out while they do that.
I chew gum all the time, because there's so much infection. What do you think comes with that? The bad breath, it never goes away, even when you scrub your teeth.
The plate has dentures attached with gaps that fit around her remaining teeth. It's well over a decade old, and Jill says the poor fit means it's digging into and cutting her gums.
So all of my teeth that are broken, they all just started off as holes. And then I just left it, and they just break. And then they chip away.
At her count, she's missing more than a dozen teeth. You can see the blackened stumps sunk into angry-looking gums.
People thought I've been on drugs.
And have people said that to you, to your face, asked you? What have they said?
And they talk, it's some person, when I went to apply, just in general conversation, asked me if my teeth are like that because I've done drugs. People talk behind my back. I'm aware of it. I can't do anything about it. So I just try to, stick to the few in my family or isolate myself.
And when you say drugs, you mean they think you might take meth and that's why your teeth are falling out?
More obviously, yeah.
What's that done to your confidence?
There isn't any. This is as much as I've got right now talking to you. Letting this be known.
Beneficiaries and low-income earners can get up to $300 a year through the Ministry of Social Development for urgent dental treatment. That money doesn't have to be paid back. Generally, for treatment over and above that, people can apply for what's called recoverable assistance from MSD. In essence, a loan that has to be paid back. So these documents confirm that Jill's already had almost $3,000 worth of dental care through MSD. Now that was in 2010, 2011 when she was a student, and it's money that has to be paid back. And believe me, she is still paying it back more than 8 years on at 50 cents a week. There's about $2,620 to go. And right now, her total debt to MSD is about $28,000. Is that what puts you off going to get more dental work?
Yeah.
The fact that you're going to have to take on more debt?
Yeah. That and just being uncomfortable in general, asking work and income for help and not having the money myself.
This is not a story about MSD declining Jill a dental grant. She's not asked for any more money from work and income because she says she simply cannot afford to pay it off. It would be a debt for life, and she's not alone. In 2017-2018, MSD paid out more than $26.5 million for dental work for low-income earners and beneficiaries. More than $15.5 million of that was essentially loans that have to be paid back to MSD. For the 2 years prior, the equation was pretty much the same. The grand total for MSD for those 3 years, $75,540,411 and some odd cents spent on dental work for low-income people and beneficiaries. And nearly $43 million of that has to be paid back. What difference would it make to you to get your teeth and your mouth sorted?
I can't explain how I feel. Maybe be able to go to my son's school without being embarrassed.
I'm sorry, just take your time. It's okay, we'll take a break.
It's humiliating. Well, I've lived most of my life like this, all my adult life thus far. I want to go to work to help support my family, and how do you tell people that the reason you don't go to work and you're anxious is because you have problems with your teeth, easy fixes, but when you don't have the money, it's only a dream kind of thing.
When you said you want to be able to go to your son's school, what do you mean?
I think it's when I talk face to face with other adults and things, he's a teenager, doesn't want to get mocked for having the mum with those funny teeth, or, I don't know. I'm just assuming, but I'm not silly.
And do you feel that problems with your mouth are holding you back?
Yeah, well, it is, because the thing is there's two things. Yes, one is my own anxiety about it and my own insecurities. But the second thing is when I'm in major toothache and my family will vouch, it can often take me over nearly a week, if not longer, to actually get rid of the pain. And you can't just take time off work. And there's not a day where it's not sore. Just some days is not as bad as others. And you can't tell your boss you can't come into work today because you still got, your dental issues. They won't put up with that.
And we did ask Social Development Minister Carmel Sepuloni to come on the program and discuss some of the issues that Jill's story raises, but she declined our invitation. In a statement, the minister says the rise in special needs grants year on year for dental care shows that people are accessing their full and legal entitlements under this government. And in the same period, the number of grants for dental work that don't have to be paid back has also increased. Carmel Sepuloni says the Minister of Health has longer-term ambitions to make dental care more affordable and accessible over time. But in the meantime, the Minister says it's important that people make use of the services that are available presently. Now, separate to the Minister's statement, the government's own welfare expert advisory group recommended that the government did review and increase grant limits so that they cover costs for the likes of emergency dental treatment.